Blame yourself if I don't love you. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Emma. Welcome back to the show. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Robyn, the star of Sister Wives, and Mary, who was her sister wife, aren't as close anymore. They were really close friends before Mary found out that Robyn's intention was something different. After she left Cody, Mary had a lot of time to think about what happened, and she discovered that Robyn had lied to her. After ending her first marriage, Robyn came to the Brown family in 2010, and Cody later adopted her 3 children. Robyn and Mary were friends, but the rest of the sister wives feared her. Because of obedience, the reason Robyn became so close to Cody so fast was, except Mary, Robyn could not bond with other family members. However, it was easy for Mary to get along with Robyn since they had disagreements with Janelle and Christine as well. As the family disintegrated now, Robyn was having a problem fitting in as well. In Sister Wives, Janelle complained bitterly about Robyn's luxurious lifestyle. The family just does not quite like Robyn, even Janelle and Christine. As of late, even Janelle referred to Robyn as a gold digger. At one time, she got fed up with Robyn and spoke about how Robyn had it easy and the rest of the wives slaved for their aspirations. Robyn wasn't even family blood, but they all struggled financially. While they fought, Robyn was nowhere around. Now she's profiting off everything. Sister Wives. Robyn and Mary are divided. Now, Robyn has no friends. Mary and Robyn Brown used to be extremely close. Although they no longer speak, at one point in time, they were best friends. Robyn dumped Mary after Mary dumped Cody, and things didn't go well between them. Mary began making new friends and is now tight with her best friend, Jen Sullivan. In comparison, Robyn has no friends. Robyn has Cody left to her, all despite her relentless attempts at winning him over and having him all to herself. Initially, Robyn could not get along with Janelle and Christine, and now she has no friends whatsoever due to her hypocritical nature and confrontational personality. The rest of the Brown family avoids her. Cody's oldest, Cody's son, publicly lambasted Robyn, stating she just sees what she wants to see, making fun of her. He even indirectly referred to her as self-centered. Christine and Robyn used to have a huge fight, and Christine still bears a grudge against her. Christine uncovered that Robyn always got her leftovers, but in some way ended up with the best of all things. Mary, on the other hand, feels Robyn cheated her. Although Mary remained faithful and stood by Cody during the pandemic, Robyn abandoned her to endure it alone. Due to all that transpired, Mary came to understand that Robyn was never her friend. Actually, Robyn doesn't even know what being a real friend is. While Cody belittled Mary, Robyn never defended her once. Conversely, Janelle and Christine stuck together at all times. The 3 original wives have since found their own group and gone their separate ways. Robyn, however, has nobody and no friends. Cody is all she has left. And we all know how egotistical he is. Sister Wives enthusiasts think Janelle may be doing something wrong with her farm venture. Sister Wives star Janelle Brown has never thought small. She wed Cody at only 24 years old, his second marriage, and they had 6 children together. Polygamy afforded her the independence she desired, and she loved it for many years. But once her son got into a fiery fight with Cody, everything started to disintegrate. Unfortunately, her son Garrison died last year. Shortly thereafter, Janelle broke up with Cody and chose to begin anew. She bought a 156-acre farm in North Carolina with her daughter Maddie. Although it was a daring step, Janelle felt she could make it happen. Only Maddie had previously been to the land, but they went ahead and bought it anyway. Now, fans are beginning to wonder if Janelle is making a mistake about her career aspirations. Janelle, a star of Sister Wives, is having trouble getting her Topaz venture up and running. After selling properties in Flagstaff and Coyote Pass, she opted to construct her own home in North Carolina. She's, however, encountered difficulties obtaining the necessary coastal and sea permits. Her house is, for now, staked out, hoping things eventually get approved. On top of that, there are permit issues with the farm as well. She originally planned on constructing a garden at the backyard, but they weren't able to acquire the requisite authorization. Today, Janelle is encountering greater obstacles. After making a try at getting her driver's license last week, Janelle could not get it because she did not have a document. Sister Wives' Janelle's business decisions are beginning to alarm fans. Janelle Brown has a proven track record of business endeavors that have not always panned out. Fans of Sister Wives have watched it all unfold on television. We've watched her experiment with different business ventures, even though she's been successful in other parts of her life. In the beginning, she struggled to choose between investing in real estate or continuing with the family jewelry business. Eventually, she decided to build a farm after considering opening a gym. Following her divorce from Cody in 2022, Janelle invested in Tata Farms. Soon thereafter, she moved to North Carolina to be nearer to her daughter Maddie and her other children. In search of better financial stability, she started her farm venture a year ago, but they have yet to really begin working the land. Janelle also confirmed they're having trouble obtaining an appropriate permit. One fan reminded that the horticultural and agricultural sectors are notoriously challenging. Constructing a farm with no actual farming background isn't simple. The Sister Wives star isn't entirely clear on the advantages and disadvantages of farm life. Additionally, the weather and vegetation in North Carolina are considerably different from what she's accustomed to out west. Her plans for land thus far haven't been particularly well planned. If she continues to invest without a thorough plan, she may lose it all. Farms take time, another fan chimed in. Janelle needs to assess the weather and plan out the infrastructure before going full speed ahead and attempting to acquire permits. Rather than simply casually considering options, she needs to make a definitive plan about exactly what she intends on developing. Janelle had already indicated that it will be roughly 5 years before the farm starts producing anything. She's willing to wait it out and do the hard work. The relationship between two women, once celebrated as sisterly, has dissolved silently into icy silence. What was once a tale of mutual laughter, promises, and encouragement in a polygamous household is now a warning tale of misplaced trust and hidden scars. Once standing together against emotional tempests, the tale of these two friends has now changed into something else altogether. And one dedicated woman is now suddenly waking from a lengthy emotional sleep, recognizing that her best friend might have actually planned her greatest heartache. At the start, there was a tiny spark of hope in their common tale. None of the women, fresh to the polygamous home, entered with a soft and submissive personality that immediately appeared to charm the man's affection. She entered into the family as a new partner, yes, but also as a mother of 3 children from a first marriage that ended in divorce and brought with her a desire for both security and belonging. The patriarch took quickly to her children as his own, and even though all seemed to change without incident, it covertly churned up a submerged undercurrent of discontent. The other wives, who had long walked the fine line of polygamous existence, felt a change in the air. But one woman chose to make contact, perhaps out of loneliness, perhaps out of a need for friendship, or perhaps out of the hope that love and harmony could still be restored. Nearly immediately, a connection was established between the two women. They held on to each other as seeming kindred spirits, friends, and confidants. Yet, with time going by and the seasons changing, the passion between them started to dwindle. Soon, the woman to whom she had surrendered her heart and trust found herself alone, abandoned, and full of doubt about what she once knew. With time to think, having opted to cut ties with the man they once all referred to as husband, she started deconstructing the messy emotional net she was in. What she got was a fresh clarity she had never known before. She recognized the emotional abandonment behind mutual smiles and tea, favoritism masquerading as humility, and manipulation posing as loyalty. The betrayal was slow, insidious, and concealed beneath the closeness of friendship. And that made it hurt even worse. In the end, the woman she had stood up for, her so-called sister, had opted to monopolize the man's love for herself while gently nudging the others into emotional solitude. Even as the newly preferred wife presented herself as the misunderstood victim and the humble submissive, the reality of her power was evident. The man hardly listened to any voices but hers. Gradually, the bond between the two women deteriorated. What had once been a warm, helpful relationship became colder and colder. She had hoped that the man who once said he loved her like family would at least have some sympathy towards her after she walked out of the marriage. Instead, silence greeted her. There were no calls, no visits, no acts of support. She was left mourning not only the loss of a marriage, but also the demise of a friendship that she once cherished so much. Meanwhile, the woman who stuck with the man is also now alone. Though she might have captured his undivided attention, she lost all other relationships in the family in the process. The other women, bearing their own grudges, have since gone on to make new meaning, community, and healing for themselves elsewhere. They've formed new friends, rediscovered their voice, and in some instances even discovered new sources of empowerment and love. But the preferred wife has not been able to establish any long-term relationships with the rest of the family. Her efforts at connection have tended to be seen as manipulative or self-serving. She is now greeted with silent judgment, seen with sympathy instead of hostility. Many feel she lost the sisterhood she once enjoyed because she held on too hard to what she perceived as love. In pursuit of exclusivity, she lost the sense of community that had been around her. Now, the woman who departed has started flourishing in ways she never could have imagined. She has brought new friendships into her life, free from the dominating emotional patterns of her past residence. One specific friend has remained by her side, providing the constant support and sisterhood she once believed she had lost forever. Free from the weight of emotional hierarchies or divided loyalties, there's finally space for truth, laughter, and genuine joy. Their very public lives make the unfolding of this narrative all the more poignant. Once highly protected and even romanticized, the favored wife was regarded by many as the wrongful victim of jealousy or lousy communication. But illusions have dissolved with the passage of time. Even the children of the household, especially the elder ones, have cried out, piercing the veneer. Reputed for his frankness, one of the sons expressed what many had long assumed, that this mother perceives only that which serves the story she wishes to hear. His statements were not cruel. Instead, they bore a stillness, an irrefutable truth. Insights gained from decades of observing manipulation play out showed it wasn't a matter of which woman was loved more. It was a matter of how control had insidiously taken over. The formerly lively home became split not only by geography, but by loyalty and disillusionment. Where they had all been united in shared struggles before, the matriarchs dispersed like leaves blown about by an agitated wind. And what of the woman who was at the heart of all the fighting? She still sits hidden away in her gold-plated niche, a room where silence presently prevails over any transient delight. Her character, once bolstered by the veneer of submissiveness, has steadily disintegrated. Her own emotional instability, combined with her refusal to defend the very women who were once called sisters when at their lowest point, has left her alone. Whether she was a wife dealing with sickness or another dealing with financial destruction, the favored one remained quiet. Promises were given but not kept. Words were easy, but actions were never taken. It wasn't just abandonment, it was betrayal so deep that it left lasting marks. In the meanwhile, the others constructed their own houses, in all ways. They cultivated gardens full of purpose, chased dreams they had previously set aside, and supported each other with a sort of openness that had been absent for so long. Their tales now brim with strength, empowerment, and a true sisterhood. And the woman who had held on so tightly to the man now finds herself with very little remaining. Her decisions resonate in hollow rooms, unwritten messages, and suspicious glances of children who saw much more than they ever spoke. She is no longer hated, but not trusted anymore. She is neither avoided nor welcomed. Thus, the tale of these erstwhile sisters becomes a circle. It isn't a straightforward story of heroes and villains. It's a tale of human frailties, unfulfilled needs, and the high cost of emotional dishonesty. It reminds us that community without justice, friendship without integrity, and love without commitment are nothing but thin illusions. The woman who felt so deserted once now strides confidently in the brightness of her own redemption. As the sun goes down on their past, the woman still clinging to yesterday stays in the shadows, holding on to a love that grows weaker. They are, even now, irrevocably changed. Traveling along the same routes once, they are now creating different roads. Praised for her position on Sister Wives, Janelle Brown has consistently demonstrated an unrelenting passion for independence and self-improvement. Her existence has been filled with fearless choices and a hard-hitting insistence on forging her own path, especially as her long marriage to Cody Brown began to fall apart. Janelle married young and became Cody's second wife, and together they had 6 children. For so many years, she appeared to be at peace in the polygamous lifestyle, loving the independence that came with it. But when growing tensions between Cody and their son boiled over into a sorrowful confrontation, the first fractures became apparent. Things took a heart-wrenching turn when her son Garrison died recently, adding grief to an already fractured family situation. This intense loss, coupled with the widening emotional chasms, prompted Janelle to take a drastic, life-changing step. She decided to leave Cody behind and begin again. Starting a new chapter, determined to redefine her life, Janelle and her daughter took the plunge of buying a large tract of land, far from the familiar terrain of the West. The land in North Carolina represented a chance at rebirth and self-sufficiency. While most fans applauded this brave decision, rumors started going around that establishing a life on a farm would not be as easy as it seemed. The challenges of starting a new life in farming soon emerged. After leaving Cody and selling their home, Janelle had dreamed not only of a new house, but of a successful farming operation in the rolling hills of North Carolina. However, mishaps seemed to emerge almost overnight. Early plans to have her house up and running were foiled by a series of permit issues. Construction in that area typically requires special coastal permits, which proved much more complicated than she had expected. Things did not go as well as she had hoped, with progress grinding to a halt, leaving her stuck in a quagmire of rules and endless forms. There is still no definitive schedule for when her new house will be completed. Likewise, her vision of starting the farm has become an exponentially bigger and more complicated undertaking than she had initially envisioned. Though she had hoped it would be a symbol of independence and a new revenue stream, Janelle soon found herself confronted with unforeseen challenges, beginning with the battle to obtain the requisite permits to farm. Bureaucratic hurdles shattered her initial fantasy of growing a lush home garden. Now, confronted with land use restrictions and agriculture uncertainties, the fate of her farm project rests in the balance. As if all those were not enough, Janelle encountered another frustration when she tried to obtain her North Carolina driver's license. Despite determination, missing documents kept her from finishing the process, pointing to just how many unexpected obstacles this new chapter has presented her. Is Janelle actually prepared for this next chapter? Transitioning from the dynamics of a polygamous home to the uncertain realm of solo farming has not been smooth sailing. Many have started wondering if Janelle is ready to thrive in such a challenging endeavor. While she succeeded elsewhere, such as in real estate and the family jewelry business, her record with business ventures has been spotty. Fans have seen her try her hand at various careers throughout the years, from thinking about investing in real estate to attempting to open a fitness club, none of which ever really caught on. Now, doubts about her farming endeavors continue to mount. Following her split with Cody, Janelle's number one priority was securing financial stability. She wanted to create a life near her children, particularly her daughter, whom she went through this bold new endeavor with. Yet, all the best efforts and sweat notwithstanding, the farm is still showing no tangible advancement. After over a year, there are no perceptible crops, and most of the land lies untouched. Both critics and supporters alike are left speculating. Has Janelle truly prepared herself for the immense challenges of creating a thriving farm from scratch? Enthusiasm for Janelle's farm project has already started to fizzle out. Farming, as everybody knows, is no easy job, and it demands a lot of knowledge, patience, and careful planning. Quite a number of supporters are now raising their eyebrows, observing that farming is particularly challenging in an area as varied as North Carolina. Without prior experience in agriculture, Janelle may be in way over her head as she handles the intricacies of starting, expanding, and operating a successful farm. As opposed to the arid and dry climate of the West, which Janelle knew well, North Carolina's climate offers a different challenge. The prosperity of any agriculture enterprise relies on aspects such as soil quality, appropriate crops, and seasonal changes in weather. Without a deep understanding of these factors, Janelle may not be able to make sound judgments regarding what to cultivate and how to best use her land. Another challenge for her is the competitive aspect of agriculture. One of her supporters pointed out the steep learning curve, where it's difficult for anyone, particularly someone who doesn't have hands-on experience, to survive in the agricultural sector. Crop rotation, soil conditions, and climate would all need to be considered, given that agriculture is a long-term investment. Janelle, on the other hand, has opted to follow the trial and error method of learning the ropes, but this has seen many wondering whether she'll ever realize a return on her substantial investment. Will Janelle's determination pay dividends? Janelle is convinced that her farm will one day be a success, regardless of the doubts. She knows that the path to success in farming is long and strewn with challenges. In reality, she's actually publicly said that she's anticipating it'll take a couple of years before the farm actually starts making money. Janelle remains willing to work diligently and wait for her efforts to pay off. But with her clock ticking down, many are questioning whether or not she'll be able to have the patience to see out the years of waiting and uncertainty that are on the horizon. Fans are left wondering if this ambitious plan is too big for someone who hasn't yet established themselves in the field. Even in the absence of short-term promise for a bountiful harvest, there's one thing certain: Janelle is determined to make it happen, whether it takes 6 months or 6 years. It's anyone's bet if she's able to overcome the many obstacles that lie in her path and succeed with a thriving farm. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to be updated with everyday content. Until next time.